Hey everybody, it's ADGM on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. So last night we were discussing how Microsoft did not choose to actually integrate Bitcoin into its reserves or its treasuries. Sad, but can that change? Yeah, I think it can still change. They said no this time. Do I think it was a smart move? I don't know the insights, the ins and outs of their company. I do know that they happen to have a few $1 billion that they have sitting on the side. They could have cut a check for $1 billion, not missed it, and still invested in Bitcoin. But they chose not to. And that is something I'm wondering about. Like, why didn't you choose to actually get into it? Did you know that Vanguard owns a little over 9%? Not the 10% threshold, a little over 9%. Maybe that has something to do with it. Who knows? But I guess over time, we'll find out the reasoning behind them saying no to the idea. Not that they owe it to their shareholders. Actually, they don't owe it to the shareholders. The shareholders said no. So last night we touched on, did Microsoft do this to make Michael Saylor look bad? And I'm kind of like, no, because he pitched to the board. He pitched to the board. The shareholders are a different bag. Right? The shareholders voted, they said no. Now, granted, some of those large shareholders are actually on the board, but still, that's not all of the shareholders. And you have to think that a lot of shareholders at these companies don't actually take the time to vote. They don't actually take the time to vote. Or when they're voting, they just, whatever's the default, boom. So if it's worded in a certain way, do you really not want us to do Bitcoin? Do you want us to do Bitcoin? There are different ways that you can word things that will just steer a person in a direction, and bam, that'll happen. Can things change in the future? Highly possible. Highly possible. Something else that we brought up is that Abu Dhabi is really stepping up their game in terms of what they're doing in the space. Abu Dhabi is collaborating with Polygon to establish international token disclosure process. Then Tether gets licensed in Abu Dhabi. And today you hear about Aptos Foundation expanding in Abu Dhabi. Does that smell like something is going on to you? It smells like something's going on to me. Abu Dhabi seems to be the place to be if you're a crypto company. Seriously. So I'm wondering what's going on. So Aptos being there is actually very interesting. It's very interesting. The reason why is because you can build on Aptos. The Aptos is actually, if you think about it, they really are part of the connective tissue because they have so many dApps running on top. So that can make you stop and think. Good place to be, huh? Tether's there. Good place to be, huh? Just saying. Just saying. Then I heard some news today. I was reading some news. Coinbase's Project Diamond is choosing Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability protocol, or CCIP, to integrate in Abu Dhabi. And I'm like, what? For secure, compliant, tokenized asset services in Abu Dhabi. Now, I need you to think about that, because that means that Chainlink is truly establishing itself as a tokenization powerhouse. A tokenization powerhouse just because of that CCIP. That's huge. So I'm expecting more to happen. And here's the kicker. That's an international move right there. That's an international move. So not only is Chainlink establishing itself here in the United States as a tokenization powerhouse, but it's doing it around the globe. I'm paying attention to Chainlink. I see you, and I like what you're doing, and I'm glad I have my bag. What else do we have going on? We've got MicroStrategy's potential Nasdaq 100 inclusion may actually boost not just their stock by a couple of billion, but it actually may boost crypto. Remember, they're a crypto-centric company. So if they get listed in the Nasdaq 100, that could be good news all the way around. All the way around. So I'm liking that. I'm definitely liking that. Did you also hear that there's a second cryptocurrency exchange now publicly trading? Coincheck went public on the Nasdaq. And it was a $1.3 billion merger that did it. And I'm sitting back and I'm just going, wow. It's the parent company of a Japanese crypto exchange. They merged with what is this? Thunder Bridge Capital to make that happen. Still publicly traded crypto exchange company. Wow. That's interesting to me. That's very interesting to me. Something else that caught my attention. Goldman Sachs, David Solomon gets out there and he says, listen, if the new regime ushers in new regulations around crypto, we would be interested. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, he could have said that about any regime. He could have said that about any regime. And I really wonder if he's just saying that just so he can be an also-ran in the news, suggest Goldman Sachs could explore crypto investments in the U.S. if U.S. regulations improve under President-elect Donald J. Trump. Do you hear bandwagon? I hear bandwagon. Did you hear bandwagon? I heard bandwagon. That's what I heard. You're late to the game, so now you want to do something. And they're not totally late to the game, right? I think they've done other stuff. I can check my notes. Let's check the notes about Goldman Sachs. All right, so that was one thing. Because they've been doing little things here and there. Oh, yeah, they said Bitcoin was a distraction. And XRP is the key. I told you, Goldman Sachs is only sleeping a little bit. I think he's talking about the next level of participation in crypto. They've been behind the scenes doing stuff. I'm only playing with you, but I have notes on Goldman Sachs, and I focus on crypto. I've got notes on Goldman Sachs from when I started 3/7/22. Yeah. So it's kind of big. It's kind of a big deal because that means that, I can see direct investment. I can see all kinds of things that Goldman Sachs would want to do. Now, the interesting thing about Goldman Sachs is now a bank. Unless that's changed, they went and flipped over to being a bank. So it would be interesting to see, what Goldman Sachs would do. That's a lot. They have a lot of options. Which is why he's saying if regulations change, we might be interested in doing a few things. Let the imagination soar. We were speaking about it last night on the live about how there are, all kinds of opportunities for banks to partner with exchanges to become banks, and banks to buy exchanges. That last one, I don't think so. Because if you're an exchange that's making money, I just don't see you getting bought by a bank and have to live with all that regulation. I don't see that happening. Do I see an exchange buying a bank? Maybe if it's a small bank, right? They have less issues. Or looking to see what they have to do to become a bank. Partner with a bank. Okay, now that could be interesting. What was it last night? Was it Crypto.com was partnering with a bank? Give me a moment. No, yeah, it was Crypto.com partnering with Deutsche Bank to offer services to institutional investors. You could see a lot of that going on. You could definitely see a lot of that going on. That's actually a big deal for Crypto.com. That's a very big deal for Crypto.com. I would be looking at that and saying to myself, yeah, I kind of want to see that. Ooh, I didn't open everything up. Let's see. We need 360. Do we really need anything else? I have the top 3 things that we really look at right now. We already know what's coming out. But just thinking about the numbers, because that's what we should do. Let's go over the numbers. So let's go do that. Give me a moment. Let me flip over. Let's choose the right screen. That'd be smart. There you go. All right, let's start with the losers. Wow. Holy moly. After that airdrop, Magic Eden dropped 70%, over 70%. GMBX factor of 2.38x. Wow. I've been hearing a lot about movement. They dropped over 25% with a GMBX factor of 1.13. Holy moly. And well, not the whole list. You know my 5% rule. Got to pay attention to 5% rule. Who else is on here? Pepe dropped 9%. GMBX factor of 0.19. You know what that's called? That's called profit taking. Pepe's been bumping and bumping and bumping. So yeah, that's profit taking right there. Maker's down 8% with a GMBX factor of 2.5. Wow. AMP. Don't really pay attention to AMP, but I hear it thrown around every now and then. They're down 7.99% with a GMBX factor of 11.81. Ordi down 7.48% with a GMBX factor of 1.79. Wow. Sats or ordinals down 7.46%, GMBX factor of 3. Yeah, I feel kind of a way about ordinals. Arbitrum is down 5.92% with a GMBX factor of 1.53. Wow. Beam down 5.91, GMBX factor of 0.35. Profit taking. I'm telling you, it's profit taking. Who else I'm paying attention? That's it. Let's take a look at the winners. Oof. Holy moly. Did you see this, right? I know you see that. Farcoin up 52%. Obviously brand new. Just wow. Wow. Hitting new highs for them. Wow. I didn't buy into that one. I did not buy into that one. Radium is up 24%, over 24.57% with a GMBX factor of 1.96. Let's see. Turbo is up. Turn the tables. Turbo is up 20%. GMBX factor of 0.04. Though it's reaching new highs. That's why. Hits a high, comes back a little bit. Hits a high, comes back a little bit. That's what's going on right there. Gocius Maximus back up 16.58% with a GMBX factor of 1x. Wow. Let's see who else is on here that we could be paying attention to. XDC Network, they are ISO 222 project or compliant project, 14.34% upward mobility with a GMBX factor of 1.08. Remember, that coin, if you have it, keep it. It's really not meant for retail investors. It's really meant for institutions. But we'll see what they do with that whole institution thing. Helium up 9% with GMBX factor of 5.62. Jitto is up 7.84% with a GMBX factor of 0.49. Not bad. Virtuals is back on the positive side, up 5.71% with a GMBX factor of 0.15. So back up healthily after people taking profit. XRP is up. Why? Because Ripple got approval for RLUSD by New York Department of Financial Services. That right there is huge. That's not a little thing. That's a big thing. That's a really big thing. Looking at it on the big board, this is why I have the GMB crypto tracker. Again, I love looking at the big numbers, but I see so many things here that I could buy and be happy with. HBAR, Ton, SHIB, Pepe. Let's see, Link, Uniswap, FET, Aave, Arbitrum, XRP. I mean, the list just goes on, and you notice I'm going from greens to reds to greens to reds. This is why I use GMB Crypto Tracker, because it helps me kind of put things in order. What else do we have going on here? Look at this. Still far, far below the 200 moving day average. But look at where we're trading, though. Do you not see this? Yeah, we took a little bit of a dip here. Yes, we had some rises over here, right? But we're basically trading within the same space. trading within that same space. We're stair-stepping up. We're stair-stepping up. So we reach a new high, we consolidate around that area, we reach another level, we consolidate around that area. That creates a stair step. That's what's going on right now. I'm not mad about it. All right. Bitcoin 98, again, not mad. Ethereum, that's a sale, 3,700. It's close to 4,000. When it hits 4,000, it's going to be some noise up in here. XRP is at a good price. It's not that far behind Tether. Tether's moving up. Don't get it twisted. Tether moves up because 134 was almost enough to be higher than Tether. Tether was at like 135. Now it's at 138. Just saying, those are the things that we need to be paying attention to. Solana down at 223. And with a market cap of $106 billion compared to that 134. I don't think Solana will ever be in the top 3 again, the top 4. I think those days are over. And let me tell you something. If BNB Chain or Doge or Cardano wake up, Cardano's really far away, but Cardano's got things going on that are going to make it explode again. So Doge, again, has things that could make it explode, mainly just that rich guy. But BNB is a part of the connective tissue. So a lot of things could happen with that. A lot of things. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, smash the likes, subscribe to the channel, and if you can, actually become a big bagger. Why? Because once a month, the big baggers have a private video conference call. And it just so happens the next one is this weekend, Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk about a whole bunch of things, and we have a crypto-packed agenda. From wallets to specific projects, we've got a lot of things that we've got to discuss on Sunday. Again, become a big bagger. This is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.